Hello everybody and welcome to the channel Crossing the Spiritual Streams. Today we're going to do a tarot pick-a-pile card reading, and it's going to be on animal wisdom. It's basically our messages from our spirit animals or other animals in our life that have messages for us. We're going to use the Divine Dog Wisdom cards as well as the Cat tarot cards here to get our messages. We also will be looking at our charms. And we will be doing our oracle spheres later, where you can be asking a yes or no type of question and get an answer to it. For those of you that are unfamiliar with pick-a-pile readings, basically there are 3 different piles here to choose from. We have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3, and these go with them as well. We have different stones we put on each pile to help you choose. We have the brown peach colored stone here. We have the dark, deep red stone here, and then we have the green stone there. So here in a moment or so, we're going to give you time to reflect on these piles and decide which one has messages for you. If you feel compelled to watch more than one pile, that is okay. Sometimes there are messages for you in more than one pile, and it is all right to watch 2 or 3 piles if that is the case. I did want to take this opportunity to thank everybody who has participated in the channel. For those of you that have subscribed, donated to the channel, left us likes, left us comments, and shared our channel with your friends and family. All of those things are very much appreciated by us, and I just wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you very much from all of us here at Crossing the Spiritual Streams. Okay, we're going to give you a moment or so to reflect on these piles. When you are ready, there will be links in the description to lead you directly to your pile, and we'll see you there. Hello, pile 1, and welcome to your reading. Those of you that chose kind of the peach stone here, I'll move that off to the side. And we have our cat tarot cards here from a couple of different decks, and then our Divine Dog Wisdom card that we're going to look at. Now remember, these are messages from basically spirit animals or from the animals in our lives that have animal wisdom. This is basically the animal wisdom. So we'll be looking at these. Don't forget, we are going to also be looking at our charms and our oracle spheres. So you could be thinking of a yes or no type of question that you'd like to get an answer to. All right, so let's find out what kind of messages and what wisdom we can gain this week. All right, resistance. What we resist persists. All right, I'm going to be reading out of the Divine Dog Wisdom booklet here. Because I do think that there might be some special messages specifically besides what we might get just by looking at the cards. So I want to do that. All right. If you fetch this card, it means that you're either pulling away or pushing against something important that needs to happen in your life. In some area of life, you're resisting a change, a shift, or a move that either gets you out of your comfort zone or doesn't make sense from your current perspective. As long as you lunge or look away from what's keeping you tethered, you don't have to deal with what's holding the other end of the leash. You might gain temporary relief from the fear of change. However, at some point, you'll run out of energy required to resist change, possibly losing something important, such as your health, an opportunity, or a relationship. Maintaining resistance devours your life and energy. How does resistance show up in you? Is it in your body, showing up through health issues, accidents, or injuries? Is it in your mind, showing up as a power struggles around right and wrong? Is resistance showing up as defensive, self-righteous, controlling, judgmental, manipulative, or apathetic behaviors with others? Taking many forms, resistance can also show up as a to-do list, excuses, and distractions, or your stories about obligations and duties that keep you from slowing down, stopping, and listening to your inner wisdom and guidance. Resistance can be a good warning whistle that you're ready for a change. Part of you may be subconsciously howling for some change. Resistance can be a guide dog when we recognize it for what it is. It shows you where in your inner world of thoughts, beliefs, and stories you need updating, healing, or more freedom to be who you really are. When we acknowledge and explore our resistance, we begin to unleash the power to navigate change. We can then take steps towards meeting our deepest needs and desires instead of straining and getting nowhere. Okay, so that's a pretty good message there. Basically saying that something needs to change in your life, that you need to go through this change and you're resisting it in whatever way, shape, or form that might be taking. And that's up for you guys to kind of figure out and decide. But that there's something that needs change, and maybe you don't know what that is. Maybe you're resisting it and don't realize it. So maybe the tarot cards will help us figure that out. But basically, let's just kind of take a look here and see if we can get some other messages here or some other things that might help you along this situation. Okay, you have the One of Cups, or the Ace of Chalices. And we have the Justice card. Interesting. Okay. Awesome. Okay, we have the Chariot and the Knight of Swords. Wow. Okay. This is interesting. This is the Chariot. I'm so sorry. That's the Seven of Wands. I didn't see the wand in his hand. And then this is the Seven of Cups. Okay. Interesting. All right. That makes more sense. Okay. So we have the Seven of Wands and the Seven of Cups. Sevens are change numbers. They do deal with change. Oftentimes they deal with spiritual change as well. But it's interesting the two that showed up here. The Seven of Wands is a defensive energy. It's trying to protect yourself from something. You notice how he has his wands here in his hands. His claws are out. He's kind of grasping it. He's like, he's ready to protect himself from anything. The Seven of Cups is more of an abundance type of energy. It's more of dreaming and realizing that you can have manifest a lot of what you would like. It's a manifestation energy. It's that you can get a lot of what you would like. Look at his bowls here. They're so full and they're so happy. He's like, oh, look at all of this I have here. I have all of these wonderful choices. And they're all full and they're all mine. And that's great because he has that available to him. What else is interesting here as well is the Justice card and the Knight of Swords. The Swords energy often will deal with we're afraid of things, we're worried, we're not sure what'll happen, so we kind of maybe not put ourselves out there, kind of thing. But the Knight, he is full of energy and he's very assertive, he's impatient, he's daring, he's willing to get out there, he's focused, he's ambitious, he's willing to do those things. He's willing to just go ahead and go for it. I always like the Knights because I always see the Knights as charging in there and fighting our battles and you know, winning the wars and doing what we need to have done. And that's interesting that you have that Knight there because we do have the Seven of Wands energy here, which to me shows, along with this resistance card, is that you're trying to protect yourself. You are worried that there's opportunities that are being available to you, the seven here, this seven, that you have all these things, opportunities coming your way. You have the Ace of Cups. Your cup is running over. You have new opportunities, new things available to you, but you're afraid to take them on. You're afraid of what will happen if you go ahead and go along this new path. And the Justice card is showing me a little bit of insight into this. One is, I'm afraid you're going to feel like, I think that you feel like things are kind of balanced right now, that you're going to upset the apple cart kind of thing, that you're going to tip the balance of scales, that things are going along okay, and you work things out, and that if you change things up and you put yourself out there, you become the Knight of Swords, you really just go for it, that if you do that, you're afraid that it's going to totally upset your even keelness that you got going here. Okay? The problem is I don't think you're as balanced as you think you are. Okay? Um, I think it's more of you're going through the motions, you're doing the things that need to be done because they need to be done, and you're living your life, but you're just kind of trudging on through. You're not really enjoying all the fruits of your labors. You're not enjoying the new and exciting things that are available to you. You're just kind of going through and just doing it. You're just kind of going, yeah, okay. You're not really getting out there and living your life is kind of the energy I'm feeling here. I mean, because look at this knight. I mean, he is out there and he is jumping and he's playing and he's like, yay, look at me, look what I'm doing. And I think that that's the energy that you need to embrace here at this moment. I do think there's been some opportunities that are starting to show themselves. This could be, and this could be in actually several areas of your life, because I think for each of you it might be something different. Sometimes it's more focused, but in this case, I think it's different for each one of you watching. It could be in your love life, it could be in your career, it could be in opportunities for, well, let me think. Opportunities for, because I said career, but I was also thinking things like opening your own business or other things, which is also career related, but also in its own type of category. It's kind of separate there, so that's kind of what I was getting there. But basically, like I said, it could be in your love life, it could be in career opportunities, it could be um, even in spiritual opportunities, honestly. I kind of get that for some of you guys, that maybe you have the opportunity to travel or to move to a new location or go somewhere else, and you're afraid to do that because you're comfortable where you're at. Or, like I said, I think you think you're comfortable. I don't think you're as comfortable as you think you are, though. Because you notice here with the Seven of Wands, one of the things I want you to see here, he doesn't look very comfortable. He doesn't look very happy. He's kind of protecting himself. He's like, okay, nothing's gonna get me here. I'm awake. I'm alert. I got my wand. I'm got my claws out. But he is not a very happy kitten. Okay, he's not very happy. He's not taking opportunity of all the things that he could have. And so I want you to know that by protecting yourself or feel like you're comfortable where you're at and not making that leap forward, you're really depriving yourself of something that could really feel wonderful, that could really feel great, that could have you overflowing in your dreams and what you'd like to have, and so forth. And I feel like, that's kind of the message that's kind of being imparted here, is that it's time to stop protecting yourself. It's time to stop resisting these kinds of opportunities that you have available to you, and go ahead and make that leap. Go for it. Be assertive. Be direct. Be brave. Be ambitious. Be the Knight of Swords, and just go out there and get it. I think you're going to be much happier when you do. I think, that's what the animal spirits are trying to tell you, and, there we go. That's kind of that message there. But let's go ahead and look at our charms as well to see if there's anything else that they're wanting to tell you. I do think that that's the important message, though, is stop resisting change and go for it. Follow your dreams. Follow your heart. Take the opportunities that are being offered to you, because you do have some new starts and new opportunities there. Okay, I love this. We got the dog bone. That's awesome. that just shows to me that somebody's offering you a bone. Somebody's tossing you a bone. And time to pick it up and do something with it. We do have the dragon energy and the salamander energy. That's wands energy. That's fire, passionate energy. We have a few other things here as well. That kind of, like I said, we have the salamander. To me, that just shows that you need to get your passions fired up again. You need to go after things that you are passionate about and that you do care about. I think that that's really important to do that, because I think sometimes, that's kind of what holds us back. We do have a couple of letters. We have an I and a C, or a C and an I. CI makes me think of investigations, but investigating things and looking at things. But those letters might be initials. They might mean something specific to you. They might mean that kind of thing. Another thing here that we've got the Pisces, and we also had the pearl in the shell fish here, and we also have the Scorpion. These are all water energies. These are all emotional energies. We had the Cups card earlier. I do think it's your emotions that you're trying to protect. I do think it's a lot of it. I do think you're very nervous and worried about that. We also have the Nine of Wands, which is another fiery, passionate energy, which, all these wands are, and we were talking about that. But also the Nine, it's a little bit more of a celebration energy than the Seven, but it also still has that slight protectiveness about it, just a little bit. Because the Nine of Wands is usually coming up with solutions to the problems and kind of, once again, protecting themselves a little bit. And that's kind of the energy I'm getting from it, at least this time. But with the water energies I was just talking about, I do feel like this is kind of an emotional issue for you. I do feel like it's your emotions that you're worried about. It's your feelings. It's how this will affect you emotionally for a lot of you guys. But also, with that, the water signs are very intuitive, and they're especially Pisces. And you notice how we had the shell with the pearl. To me, that kind of shows the hidden treasures, that if you're willing to go into the deep, if you're willing to go into the unknown, because waters are kind of the last frontier on Earth. I mean, they really are the unknown. We really don't know a lot about deep waters and what treasures can be under there. And I don't mean literal gold and things like that, but I just mean what treasures, what we can find, what's new and different and awesome, because it's something we don't know. And I think taking that lunge into somewhere we don't know, you are going to pull up some treasure from that. And I think that's what those are symbolizing there for you. We also have the frog, which frogs to me show leaps, taking that leap forward. So I really feel like you need to do that leap and take that next jump, because I feel like maybe, I think you guys know what I'm talking about. I think you guys know what this opportunity is, what this leap is, and you just haven't really been willing to do it. But I really think taking that opportunity would be really good for you. Let's go ahead and get our oracle spheres. That way we can get an answer to our yes or no type of question. You can utilize these other ways as well. You can be creative with it. I do have some users that have done some other cool, interesting things with these, so I'm going to let you guys kind of pick that out. But basically, the way it normally would work is you have 4 stands here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Blue, bronze, green, and silver. And then you pick which stand you would like your answer to appear on, and you think of a yes or no type of question, and we get our answers. But you can ask more than one question maybe and pick a different stand for your answers, or you can have a stand mean one thing and another stand mean something else, and maybe get some clarifying answers that way, or whatever works out good for you guys. Go ahead and do. But we're going to go ahead and do this here. We got number 1, blue, is a not now. Number 2, bronze, is a not sure. That could mean the question wasn't very clear, or there's things that have to be played out first because it might change the outcome, so the answer might change. Okay, number 3 green is maybe. And number 4 silver is probable. All right, guys. So number 1 blue is not now. Number 2 bronze is not sure. Number 3 green is a maybe. And a number 4 silver is probable. So there are our answers this week from you guys. Hopefully there were some messages here that made sense to you guys and you guys can do something with them. I really appreciated you guys being with this video. Please remember to check out our other videos on the channel. We do timeless tarot readings every week. We also have our rune readings we do once a week on Mondays that have our oracle spheres and angel numbers involved with those that might be of interest. We have other videos on the channel to check out as well. Please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Share the video or the channel with your friends and family by putting it on your social media. And remember to leave us comments in the comment section and subscribe if you haven't already done so. We look forward to seeing you again in future videos, and may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Hello, Group 2, and welcome to your reading. Remember, these are divine animal wisdom messages for us, and find out what they have to say. Those of you that chose the red stone here, and we've got our cat tarot cards that we'll be looking at. We also have our divine dog wisdom card. We will be doing our charms here in a little while, as well as our oracle spheres, where you can be asking your yes or no type of question that you can get an answer to. So let's dig in here and see what our messages are. Faith. You have all you need right now. Okay. I like that. I'm going to be reading out of the Divine Dog Wisdom book. There might be some extra messages there or some special messages that could be useful to us. If you fetch this card, it means you're now ready to trust your seeing eye companion within. The one guiding you towards something you may not yet physically see, but are willing to believe is real and present nonetheless. You may have done all you can, dug your holes and buried your bones. You can now let go and rise above belief, just knowing they are still there and have not gone away or been taken from you. And there are more where those came from. Somewhere in the flurry of fur and activity in your life, there's a need to sink down onto your haunches and realize that success is guaranteed and you cannot fail. In doing this, you become surrounded by all manner of support and love from sources that have just been waiting for you to take this leap of faith. You'll find yourself on a new platform where you can perform at levels you may never have dreamed of in whatever area of life your true passions lie. In order to keep the faith, it's necessary to be faithful to your ideals and dreams by allowing a power greater than yourself to do its work. Let yourself be pulled along by an invisible but powerful team that's on your side. Okay? So this is really important to realize that you just need to have faith that what you are wanting, what you're manifesting, what you're working towards is coming your way. That you have a spiritual team that's there with you, that's for you. One of the things the book goes on to say, and I'll just kind of paraphrase, is that you don't need to be religious to have faith. We have faith every day in our everyday living. We have faith that the air around us is going to support our life as we take in breath. We have faith that gravity is going to keep us solid on the ground and we're not just going to all of a sudden start floating away. And we have faith in lots of other matters as we go throughout our day. So you just need to have faith that what you've been manifesting, what you've been working towards, what you've been doing is on its way and it's out there. And the universe is going to provide it for you and it's coming. Okay? Let's see what other messages we have here. We have the Six of Swords. We have the Knave of Wands. We have the Chariot. Oh, for sure. Okay. We have the Six of Wands. And we have the King of Pentacles. Oh, this is so cool. Okay. First of all, this goes along very well with the initial card here about having faith. You notice the Six of Swords here. They're on their journey. They're being pulled along in the cart, a lot like the Chariot in a lot of ways, but they're being pulled along. They're on their way to something better. They're having faith that they're going to get past these troubles. They're going to get over this bridge. They're going to get over to the next area, and things are going to be better than what they have been so far. They have faith. Okay? And then we also have the Knave of Wands, which is really awesome because the knaves are cool. They're the pages. They're the youngsters. They're the ones that are full of life and energy. And the wands are very much about the things that we're passionate about and our spiritual energies. Like I said, letting spirit guide us and deal with us. They're about, our passions and impulsiveness and things we're energetic about and creative about and other things. And so by having the knave here, he's full of adventure and excitement and he's fearless. And I kind of see this as, you guys need to be fearless in this journey. You guys need to be, have faith that it's going to be okay. These guys are having faith. He's fearless. He's ready to go out on the next adventure. The Chariot is a wild ride. It's you're not sure where destiny is going to take you. You're not exactly sure what's happening, but you have faith that it's going to work out for the best and that you're going to get to somewhere wonderful when it's done. And that's kind of the energy you guys need to pull into right now and that you need to work for and towards. We also have the Six of Wands, which I like the sixes. You have two sixes here. The sixes are a really nice energy. They're stable. They're celebratory in a lot of ways because they're getting past the energies of the five, where five denotes change, five denotes strife, it denotes discomfort, fighting, problems, other things like that. And so by the time we get to the sixes, it's usually a little bit more of a celebratory type of card. Like the Six of Wands, it's usually getting some sort of accolades or graduating. The Five of Wands is, learning how to fight, drilling, doing those kinds of things. And then the Six, is kind of like the graduation ceremony. And you notice how he's celebrating here. He's playing, he's got them all, he's having a good time. And that's kind of where you guys are working towards. You're heading into that six energy of being able to celebrate that what you've worked on so hard is finally coming to you. You're finally getting there. Your journey is finally getting to that point where some of the things that you've been wanting are coming your way and that you're moving towards them and you're getting there. That's not to say there's not going to be more things down the road. There always is. There's always more things to manifest, more things for our life. That's what makes life worth living. It's what makes it really enjoyable to be around. But it means that in this moment in your life, what you've been working so hard towards is what you're journeying towards now. It's finally coming to fruition. You just have to have faith because it's not quite there yet. And so this is the part that gets hard. This is the part that's really hard. But we do have the King of Pentacles here, which is awesome because the Pentacles are pretty much about all of our earthly desires, pretty much anything that we would want on this earth. And the King is at the top of his game. He's full of abundance. He's the provider. He's really good in business. He's sensual. So if it's his love related, he's that ultimate lover kind of person. So by having the King here, it shows that that's where you're journeying to. That is, you're going to reach the top. I mean, you notice here he's two at a time. He's got a whole glass jar full of his favorite treats, and he's digging in there, and so he's got more than he could ever need here, and that's what he represents. He represents that abundance, that things that you've been wanting in your life, and it doesn't necessarily mean money, although for some of you that may be the case. It just means the things that you've been trying to get. This dog is waiting for his, next meal, his food, what he would like to have, because that's an important abundance thing, is having the types of foods that you like to have around and that, being able to eat every day, or having somebody to share your life with that you really, really care about. That's an abundance thing. So abundance can be in lots of different meanings there. So it's whatever you've been trying to work on and manifest and work towards. All right, let's go on to our charms and see if there's any other messages here or other advice or things that we can work on. Give them a really good mix up here and see what we've got. Okay, we have one letter, I. I think that means you need to focus on yourself. We also have the R as well. Those could be initials, so they might mean something to you specifically. So I'm going to let that go there with you guys. We do have the Two of Spades, which the two energies to me are always kind of a coming together, a kind of, being a group thing there. And I feel like this is important for you to, get together with other people that you care about and that you're working on. We have lots of other cool messages here that go along with this. We have the dove messages here, which I see that as messages from Spirit, that first of all, they're letting you know that they're there with you. They're helping you out. They're going to be helping bring this about for you. But also there might be some other messages that they're sending out your way. You might watch some other tarot pick-a-pile readings. You might look at numbers that happen or recur in your life frequently, or other symbols, feathers, pennies, dimes, other things like that showing up, or other things that you happen to really notice. Those might be symbols or messages for them that they're trying to assert for you or trying to get out there for you. Okay. We do have the key here, which I always like getting keys, because to me, keys show that you have what it takes to unlock the next door. You have what it takes to move forward and go on. We also have the follow your heart and the hope. So once again, have hope and follow your heart, because that's kind of where it's at. Because we also have a Make-A-Wish success charm here, which, once again, this is all about what you're manifesting. This is all about what you wish for, what you want. Don't dwell on it to the exclusion of other things, because if you focus on it too much, it won't come to pass either. You need to just kind of put it out there for the universe, and then the universe will help you get those things the best way for you to get those. You just kind of have to have faith that it will happen. So you just kind of have to shoot those energies out there and then have faith that they'll come back to you. And that's kind of where you need to go. We do have the swan here, which I always really like that, because I kind of always see that transformational energy of going from, sorry, sometimes I have to really kind of catch my breath here. I get kind of things kind of going. With the swan, I always get these emotional feelings of transformation from one, kind of being out of place, things not going your way, you not feeling like you fit in, to all of a sudden being this wonderful, beautiful swan that, that's everybody envies and enjoys and likes and all of that. And so it's this wonderful transformational energy that I kind of swell up with. We also have the summertime shell here, which to me, summertime is sun. It's frivolity. It's, with the shell, it's going out on the beach. It's, that's, to me, that's the ultimate of relaxation, joy, having the sun out and not having to worry about, all of these other things that happen. That's kind of the ultimate joy in life, is being able to do that. So that's kind of what that, just kind of shows where you're heading and where you're going to. Let's go ahead and get our oracle spheres. Basically, the way this usually works is that we have 4 different stands. We have blue, bronze, green, and silver, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You think of a yes or no type of question. You figure out which stand you would like your answer to appear on, and then we'll get our answers. Some other viewers I found out recently have been using it other ways, and I find that great. I love that people that come up with ways to make the readings your own and do stuff with them. I really like that. So if you can find other creative ways to utilize these to your advantage or to help you out, awesome. I look forward to you guys doing that. All right, let's go ahead and get our answers here. Number 1, blue, is a not sure. Number 2, bronze, is a very likely. Now, on the not sure, usually that means to me that either the question was not very clear or that there's things that still need to be played out because it might change the outcome. Some circumstances, it's kind of like a domino effect. Sometimes it might change how things happen in the end, depending on what happens back here a little ways. All right, number 3, green, is also a not sure. It's a very fluid situation, it seems like. And the number 4, silver, is a maybe. So number 1, blue, is a not sure. Number 2, bronze, is a very likely. Number 3, green, is a not sure. And number 4, silver, is a maybe. All right, so there's our messages for you guys this week. I hope you had some stuff that was very useful to you and very helpful to you. I would love for you guys to give the video a thumbs up. Please share the channel with your friends and family. Put a link on all your different social media accounts and give them an opportunity to check out the channel as well. I cannot think of one single thing that will help the channel more than to have other people find us. And so we appreciate all of that. Please also give us comments in the comment section and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, because like I say, those are very useful things for us and we do appreciate it. Do check out our other videos on the channel as well. We put out rune readings every week that have the oracle spheres as well as angel numbers involved with those, so that might be something you'd like to check out. We also put out timeless tarot readings every week on lots of different topics, so some of those might be of use to you as well. So check those out if you haven't already done so. We do put out videos every single week, so we look forward to seeing you again in future videos, and may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Hello, Group 3, and welcome to your reading, those of you that chose the green stone here. And remember, these are our messages from divine animal sources. They have lots of different messages out there for us, and so we're going to get the messages. We do have the kitty tarots here we're going to look at, as well as the divine dog wisdom card. And we have our charms that we're going to be doing here a little bit later. And we also have our oracle spheres, so you could be thinking of a yes or no type of question that you can get an answer to. So let's get started here and find out what messages we have. Celebration, acknowledge your victories. Oh, how adorable. I love that. Okay, I'm going to be reading from the Divine Dog Wisdom book here, because I think there might be some extra messages or things that might come out better than just looking at the card itself. If you fetch this card, it means it's time to pause for celebration. Take the time to recognize and reward yourself for the progress you've made on your chosen path. Perhaps the final destination is still off beyond the horizon. Just remember that each forward track in the sand is another marker or milestone bringing you closer to your goal and deserves to be seen as such. You may believe that you don't deserve anything until you fully completed a task, so you postpone the joy of celebrating accomplishment until you attain a larger goal. It can be difficult to sustain yourself through self-denial of this kind, especially when the finish line is less clear or seems to keep moving further away. Realize that giving yourself treats along the way can be a big part of what helps keep you going. After all, it's usually a series of small steps leading you on that makes all the difference. Look at all the tricks or tasks you complete each day, each week, and each month. Consciously decide to give yourself plenty of strokes for each job well done. You can certainly involve others in your self-recognition, perhaps in the form of expressing gratitude for their contribution to you and your accomplishments. You can share with someone who smiles and says yes when you share those little things you did that help inch you along. Your taking a gracious bow can help all recognize their own wow factor. This is a really important message because I feel like sometimes we want to go along and we want to do things and we forget to say, wow, look where I've been. Look what I've done so far. Look what's happening here. Something that came to mind almost right away with this was people in AA. You know, they get chips frequently for celebrating different milestones of being clean and sober. And they don't wait for a year or 5 years or 10 years. They get them along the way, they get them incrementally. And starting out early on, they get them even more frequently because that's a big milestone because those first few steps are actually really large ones. You know, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month. You know, those are very important milestones, and you know, just that 1 day was hard enough. You know, that's a really, really hard leap. And then making it a whole week, that's another really hard one. And making it a whole month is another really hard one. And then, you know, a year, and then maybe, you know, other ones. And I don't even know what all they get. I just know they get them incrementally throughout time. And it's to celebrate that, look how far you've come so far. You've made it this far. Yay, that's a good thing. And that's important to celebrate those things along the way, because if not, I think we get discouraged. I think we forget. We just think, well, I just haven't gotten there yet. I can't believe, man. Another example is my channel. I keep having goals of reaching more subscribers. And I get really excited when I get a new subscriber. I'm like, oh, yay, somebody else that, you know, is here on the channel. But if I go a little while sometimes without them, or if I don't hit a certain goal within a week or 2 weeks or a month, I go, gee, I haven't got there yet. And I get kind of just a little bit down. But I do try to make sure I do celebrate every time I get somebody new, because otherwise it almost wouldn't seem worth going, because I'd be like, well, gee, I haven't gotten there yet. Obviously, you know, it's not worth anything. And that's not true. I have a lot of really good positive feedback from the people who have come, so I know that that's not true. And so, you know, just those little victories or things, and they're not even little, I guess, is the point I was trying to make, is they're big ones. And so celebrating them is really important along the way. Let's see what else we have here. We have the Five of Swords, and actually I really like this one. I'll talk to you about that in a minute. We have the Two of Wands. Oh, I just love these little cat ones. I love the symbols on them. We have the Fool. Oh, what a cute little one. Okay. We have Temperance. And then we have the Six of Cups. Oh, I love the little kitty there inside. Okay. These are some really cool messages too. I really like these. It's not just celebrating and celebrating victories and going along. That's important here. You guys actually have some more messages coming here as well. The Fool energy, I usually don't like calling it the Fool, honestly. I usually like calling it the Traveler or some other thing, because when I think of the Fool, I think of somebody willing to go out and look at things from a new perspective and just jump right in there and just see what's out there. And they're willing to move forward with their lives. They're not afraid of anything. They're willing to just kind of go and do. And to me, that's not necessarily foolish. And so I never really liked the idea of the Fool. To me, it's more of living your life. To me, it's more of, you know, you're not just sitting back going, well, you know, I don't know what's out there, so I'm just not going to do it. I'm too afraid, too scared. By being able to go out there and be a little silly, be a little goofy, maybe get into a little bit of trouble, maybe, you know, having some mistakes and learning from them is okay, because your journey will still continue forward. You'll be able to continue forward with your journey and have a lot of knowledge along the way that you'll be able to get by doing that. But that at least you're moving somewhere, at least you're going somewhere, at least you're doing something, rather than just kind of sitting back and doing nothing. And so that's kind of another message I'm getting here, is that it's okay to go out and be adventuresome. It's okay to go out and do that next thing and celebrate that step if you take it, by the way, because that has to do with the celebration going on here. The other thing I got here that goes along with the celebration is this Five of Swords. Now, usually five energies are kind of conflict. They're a little bit, usually there's a battle that's taking place, and usually there's losses involved. Now, on this particular card, though, and I always like looking at the symbolisms on each card because it helps me interpret for that specific reading. On this particular five, he is on all five swords. He's won the battle. He's got magic going up, to heaven. He's celebrating his victory here. And so that is the energy I want you to get from this Five of Swords card, because that's the energy that I'm getting from it on this particular reading, because it can have lots of other meanings involved, and some of them aren't, always the best. But in this case, I feel like it has to go along with the celebration card, that celebrate the victories that you've had, celebrate that you've done that. And even if it's not a really huge victory, because sometimes the five is not always the best victory in the world, or the best one, but the fact that you had the victory is really good. Another thing here is we have the two of the two of wands here, and we have the temperance card. Now, the twos and temperance, they're both balanced energies. And they're both getting that balance, and kind of not going too crazy. So I kind of like that they're here with the Fool card too. So it shows, yes, go out and do excitement, but also do it in a temperate sort of way. Be a little bit cautious, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't go off totally half-cocked. But we've got the Two of Wands here, and you notice how he's waiting. He's keeping an eye out. He's making sure, that everything's protected. He's looking out to see if there's anything else that needs to be done. So I think contemplating your next move might not be a bad idea. So that's what I really like about the Fool and that energy both, because we have the Fool that's going to go out and just go and see what's out there and what's exciting. And then you've got the Two of Wands, which is a little bit more contemplative energy, because I think that you kind of need to do both, that you need to be willing to go out and see what's exciting and what's out there, but you also need to be willing to contemplate your next step and your next move as well. Okay, so I think that's kind of the messages going through there, and the temperance kind of went along with that. And then we have the Six of Cups. And six energies, I always really like the six energies, because they follow the fives, which are always kind of that chaos, that fighting, that strife, that battle, all of those kinds of energies. And then the six is getting what you want and what you need. And also the Six of Cups specifically often deals with what it's like to be a child, getting back to that child energy again, feeling young. You notice how you've got the old adult sitting there eating its foods, being very careful, it's being very clean, and then the youngster just kind of dives right in and does whatever, because kittens can kind of do that. Kittens can be goofy, and kittens can do those kind of things. And I think that goes along with the Fool energy here and the temperance. They kind of both go together, in that it's okay to be an adult. It's okay to be careful and think things through, but it's also okay to go back to being that young, carefree, goofy, wild, adventuresome, seeing what this will be like. One of the reasons why kittens do that kind of thing is because they don't know what'll happen. They do it and find out. And so I think that's kind of the big message going on here for you guys, besides the celebration one that you guys had with the first card. Let's go ahead and go on to our charms and oracle spheres and see what else we might have. There might even be more messages for you guys, or more clarifiers for the message already, or whatever. So let's see what we've got here. All right, well, we have the Ace of Hearts, which I really like, because that's the cup energy, and that's showing the overflowing abundance. It's a new card. It's a beginning. So it's that See, this is so interesting. You guys' message keep coming through in this way because you also have the skull and crossbones. So it's that more cautious. It's that be careful, but also you've got a new beginning coming and go out and go for it. So it's, yes, be careful. Don't just leap without, knowing something, but do make the leap. I guess is what the big energy is going on here, and that every time you do take a step forward, every time you do move forward, make sure you celebrate your victories as you go along, and do that, especially since there might be some hurdles along the way with the skull and crossbones kind of showing that. So if you get through those obstacles and go along that way, definitely celebrate that when you do that. Some other really cool messages here I really like is every journey starts with one step. So make sure you're willing to take that first step. We talked about that earlier. And also dream. It's important to dream and follow your dreams. A lot of times we don't do that. A lot of times we forget to do that when we get older. And that's where the Fool energy comes in. It's okay to dream. And even the Two of Wands, he's kind of a dreamer as well. And so I really want you guys to be able to do that. We do have the Circle of Love, which means that are loved and do have some love, and that it's okay to go for love if you're afraid to do that. We do have a couple of other energies here that are kind of interesting. We have, this kind of goes along with the Circle of Love, but it also goes along with the balanced energy here. You have the two birds, kissing and together and whatever, and that's showing that balance. It's the two energy. They're each on either side. They're going along, and so it's that temperance energy. It's that balance that you can get in your life. But then we have a little bit more flighty things. We have the unicorn, which is all about young dreams, all about excitement, all about going out there and getting those things. And then we have the rooster, which is being sure of yourself, being confident of yourself, be willing to go out and say, yep, I can do this, and I've got this, and I'm strong and smart and everything else. And that's what the rooster symbolizes for me. All right, guys, so those are your messages on that. Let's take a look at your oracle spheres. And basically how this works is we have 4 different stands. We have silver, green, bronze, and blue, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you think of your yes or no type of question, and you think of what stand you'd like your answer to appear on, and then we get our answers. There are other ways you guys can utilize these. I found out recently that some of our viewers are being more creative and using these in other ways. And so I encourage that. If there's another way that's useful to you to utilize what we're doing here, that's great. That making the reading your own is wonderful. I really appreciate that when you guys can do that. So once again, we have silver, green, bronze, and blue, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we'll go ahead and get our answers, and we'll see where we're at. We have a number 1, silver's a yes. Number 2, green is a probable. Number 3, bronze is also probable. And number 4, blue is a maybe. All right, so number 1, gray is a yes. Number 2, green's probable. Number 3, bronze is probable. And number 4, blue is a maybe. So there's our oracle sphere answers for the week. Guys, I hope you had some messages that came through for you that were resonating really well with you guys with this reading. I really enjoyed doing it. I hope that, there was some stuff there for you guys. Please remember to give the video a thumbs up. Leave us comments in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And the real biggie is remember to please share the channel with your friends and family. If you put a link out there on all your social medias, I can't think of a better way that the channel will grow. And I just can't even express to you how important that is to us and how much we appreciate it. Do check out our other videos on the channel. We do rune readings once every week on Mondays that include the oracle spheres as well as angel numbers, so those might be of interest. We do have a lot of timeless tarot videos out there on the channel that might be of use to you on lots of different topics, so check those out. We do put out videos every single week, so we were very much appreciative of you being with us for this video, and we look forward to seeing you again in future videos. May the stars guide your path. Bye-bye.